Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Dan.
We're building our dream house in North Portugal. Now, last week we put the final touches onto the roof.
Finally.
Yeah, it's been a really hard push, as you guys would have seen it. But it means that this week we're starting on the exterior of the house, right?
Yeah.
Now, last week you may have noticed Louise and I oiling some boards. These boards will be used on the upper parts of our house. Now, at the moment, we still have quite a bit of boards to oil up, but by no means is this pile going to be enough to cover the entire house. Now, thankfully, the supplier gods were with us this time, right, Dan?
They were.
And we have a bunch of wood just waiting for us at the top of the land.
Including the metal on the lower part that needs to be brought down
Exactly.
here.
Exactly. So the first part of today's video is going to be us lugging some stuff so that we can make a start on the exterior of the house. Alrighty.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Okay guys, as you can see, we've got already a good head start made on the exterior of the house with these boards already oiled. But like the start of every project, it kind of means resetting the workspace and reorganizing yourself. So Louise and I placed them here yesterday for us, but last week for you. And yeah, so basically we just need to move them into another space because we need to free the bottom part of the house, because we're gonna start with the metal parts of the exterior of the house, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that we need to think about is that with all the wood that's been cut from the roof, we have lots of little bits like that all over around the house. And
It's hard to walk as if, so you just want to keep the surfaces somewhat leveled. If it's twisting your feet when you're having stuff in your hand, it's easy to happen.
because you have a bad hip, but I have a bad ankle,
Yeah.
and
The clump foot.
My Mama June foot. This little deck has been so handy, really. But now it's really taken a beating. I mean, there's varnish and linseed oil on there and God knows what. But the good thing is, we can always dismantle it and reuse the wood for a chicken coop or for a mobile rabbit run, right?
Yeah,
But for sure, it's not going to be our permanent decking. No doubt about that.
that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, now, Dan, the entire site is clean,
Mhm.
right? And then the next step of the project is going to be to bring the metal here on the decking, measure it, and cut it. You're gonna see us with earmuffs, and for sure the next part is gonna be a time lapse because it's really, really loud and very unpleasant cutting metal. The noise of cut metal, it just
Goes into your bones.
yeah, and it makes your teeth just ugh. But anyway, it needs to be done, right? The sheep that we bought, if I'm not mistaken, we took them as long as possible to cut them in half so that we can kind of do the bottom part without having too many cuts, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, done. So we've got all those corrugated metal sheets. What's
Yeah.
our next step?
Well, oh, before also, I like to say that people probably gonna say, but why didn't you just take an angle grinder and put through the whole pile of stuff? And I say, well, it's a good idea, but since it's a fire advisory here, and an angle grinders do have a tendency to spark a lot, and we don't want to start a brush fire.
Yeah,
So
no.
better safe than sorry in this case. And then also, when you use an angle grinder, you kind of heat up the metal too much. You take away too much of the galvanization. You still take away a bit with the blade, but not as much. And also the cut end, we're gonna put the cut end facing upwards so we don't have the sharp and raggedy end in the bottom of the house if we need to crawl underneath or just do stuff, and so it doesn't start rust as well from the bottom up.
So what you're saying basically is that the ruggedy end of the cut is going to be hidden by a board, and then we're not going to see it.
Exactly.
And now the next step, as you were telling me, inside when we're having a short break, is just to put a string up, right?
Yeah, measure up the rough height and then level in the first sheet and then kind of measure it in and then roughly measure from the string all the time. The most important part is to get the bottom in the same level all the way so it doesn't go different height in the bottom. It just looks terrible. And the first sheet will be the most important one, so we make sure that it's level like that so we don't force the sheets down on the wrong side. So we put one up, level it in, and then we take a string all the way, and so we make sure it looks fairly similar. It doesn't have to be 100% in the top, just as long as it's more or less 100% in the bottom.
And another thing you were saying that I found quite interesting is that we're going to be starting at this end, right? To kind of put the corrugated metal at the bottom. And what was your reasoning for that again?
So, because we have a road coming from that way and we're coming in looking at the house like that. And if you start from that end, you're gonna see all the joints all the time, so it doesn't look as cohesive. But if you start from that end, you just see the corrugated going over each other, so you don't see the end of the sheets.
So you see the groove, you don't see the edge.
Yeah, it looks more like a complete sheet instead of seeing the ends of all the sheets all the time.
You're so clever, you.
Experience.
All right, let's get it done.
Let's do it. Okay, so I think your job is gonna be holding it flush in the bottom there.
Okay. At the bottom, I shall go.
And then you have to give me the.
You need about 3 mil up.
Well, push it up then.
Yeah.
And then I have to give me the level.
Yeah.
It could be, since we have no ladder or screwing in here.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have screws sticking out in the middle of there, right?
No, we don't.
So it could be that we need to buy I don't know the English word for it, but pop-knee. It's like one of these pliers when you drill a hole and you put a rivet in there, and then you,
Okay.
and it becomes kind of flush.
Okay, gotcha.
So it could be that we need to do that in those joints.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if it needs to happen, it needs to happen, right?
Yeah. Oh, now we need to cut, of course.
Oh, it's gonna look so cool, babe. Oh, to me, this is just perfection. But of course, it's an unusual type of planning for a house, and we totally get it. We get it. To me, this is just exactly what. Hey guys, sorry for the vegetarian among our subscribers, but Teresa, the shepherdess, just baked a fresh bola di carne. So it's a bread with some meat inside. It's typical Portuguese, I think probably typical of this region, and it's really, really good. So I think we're gonna go home and have dinner. But we'll see you guys tomorrow, or in just a few seconds for you. Oh, wow.
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Wow. We're now starting day 36, and we have a little visitor on our land. Tony, that you may have seen in our land tour. In fact, him and Mason are becoming pretty good friends, we'd say, right? No, they tend to be a bit loud when they play together. Especially Mason. He's very vocal.
It's always loud.
Anyway, day 36 is going to be the day. Mason.
Just ignore it.
Just ignore Mason. Day 36 is going to be the day that we think is going to make the most difference on the build, right?
Yeah, we're gonna continue with the facade and just push on, and hopefully, can't promise anything, but hopefully half of the house is gonna get done today.
That's what we hope for. Mason. They're so cute when they're playing together, these two. Maybe if you've seen the land tour, you would have noticed that Tony probably doubled in size soon. And yeah, he's going to get around 80, 90 kilos. These dogs are absolutely brilliant. They're local to the region. And yeah.
They're massive.
They're massive. And for us, it's really important that our boys are playing with him right now, because these dogs have a tendency to be very
territorial. Right?
Territorial, exactly. And seeing them playing like this right now, it just means that they're kind of getting integrated part of the pack. And then Tony thinks as us as part of his pack now. And then it's a really good thing, because, yeah, we don't want to be on the bad side of Tony when he's big, that's for sure. But yeah, there you go. Look at that. But it's so cute. I think he's about a month and a half now, 2 months maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Something like that. And we love it when dogs come and play on our land. It's really good for Mason because he's not all that social with other dogs like that. But yeah, having the chance to socialize them right now, it's really awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough with the dogs. You guys are here to see us build, right? So let's get to it.
Let's do it.
You can go in the house, Tony. You're too old for this, are you? But you should play with Tony now, because later he's gonna be like this big. Get to know him. Our neighbors, guys. Tell you what, we don't have any problem with loud music with these ones. Mason, you be nice. Buen día. Buen día. Buen día. Buen día. Yeah, that's Tony's brother, and then Tony is gonna be this size once he's full size. Guys, at this point you might wonder why we didn't go around the house clockwise. Pretty much because the back of the house is going to be the most difficult part because we have to cut the corrugated metal for the beams that are protruding out. And if you've missed our other videos, these beams, they are there because we want to anchor our back deck on them, the permanent one. And then that one is going to be built a bit later, right? Yeah. But so far, half of the house done, more or less, except for the corner because that's going to be a bit trickier. And then Dan needs to think how it's done because he's the mastermind behind this build. I'm just the muscle.
Just lay it on the ground.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh. 1, 2, 3.
Like that. So what we're gonna try to do is bend the corner so we don't have to put any corner metal. So that's the plan.
Yeah, we don't know if it's gonna work, but let's try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, we'll still leave it in the video so that you know why not to do this.
Just measure it in. So we have the down and then out and down again.
But then I think maybe
Shall we
I'm
just try
wrong.
it 3 times?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Let's just do a straight cut because we're going to have the decking going
Over it anyhow.
anyhow. So basically, guys, what now we're talking, you can see like our beams are like an inverted T. So we're just wondering, shall we cut it? Shall we cut the metal to follow the inverted T, or shall we just make more like a U cut? And right now, what we're thinking is a U cut. It's just going to be easier to do, and since we're going to have the decking going here, we're not really going to see it. So
Let's make it easy for us.
yeah, let's make it easy for us for once. Nice.
managed to do it.
And then basically what we decided, either when the time lapse was running or off camera, is that, well, it's nice to have the round corners like this. We'll just use a piece of wood or two pieces of wood, right? And then we'll just clad the corners. Pretty much what we want to do. Just hold this. After further thoughts, is to so if you guys see right there, we've got zing corner, and then we're thinking about inverting the pattern right in each corner right there. So we think it's going to look pretty cool. But let's see.
I think it looks pretty cool already.
I think this looks wicked cool. It is going to be nice. I mean, basically what we have left to do now is just the bottom of the three doors. So not so much. To tell you the truth, this part of the project has gone so much smoother than what we could have ever anticipated. We had accounted for about 3 days to do the metal, and now it's the second day that we're working on it, and boom, we're almost done. Awesome. Everything inside.
Instead of using battens now, we're gonna use the cut-off pieces we had when we did the drip board on the head of the roof. The cut piece that we took off to get the height. So we haven't discarded it, and we're just gonna layer two of them to get out the same distance as two battens, more or less.
So you need me to cut them at 120, right?
12 of them.
12 of them? Okay, I'll do that.
I think we should be good to put metal on. And then we're done with all the metal work.
Oh, that went so much smoother, huh?
It did.
Well, guys, with the metal install on all four facade, we can safely say that we can wrap the video for this week. Now, the work will continue, of course, and the next part that you'll see is us working on the upper part. So, thank you so much for watching us, and see you next week.
See you next week.
Ciao.